On today's schedule. I think I'll just leave it at that. No. It's a tight schedule.
So he's the Interior Minister, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Mr. Naqib, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is Brian Whitman at the Pentagon. Thank you for joining us today. And ladies and gentlemen here in the Pentagon, good morning and welcome. Today we do have Iraqi Minister of Interior, Falah al-Naqib. He joins us from Baghdad, and he's been kind enough to offer some of his time and to give us some perspectives of the historic events that have occurred in Iraq over the last couple of days, and particularly address some of the Iraqi security forces and what they are doing and how they are developing. I believe he has a few comments he would like to make, Mr. Minister, and then we'll open it up for some questions.
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank the United States for helping Iraq and Iraqis, first in getting rid of the regime, of the brutal regime of Saddam Hussein, and then helping Iraqis to build its own democratic states. So I think most of the Iraqi people, they appreciate that very much. First of all, I must say that in just 2 years, Iraq has gone from a brutal dictatorship to the first ever democratic vote in this country. On January 30th, 2005, Iraqis proved skeptic, wrong, stood up to terrorism and showed the world what's in the heart of the Iraqi citizens. Despite desperate attempts by terrorists to destroy Iraq's future by intimidations and other cowardly terrorist acts, Iraqis voted against terror and for democracy. The Iraqi police stood firm and stayed at their posts, and terrorists tested their resolve. The MOI security forces responded, threatening attacks and captured terrorists. Some defended their country's future at the expense of their life. I must say that Police Constable Abdelamir Mohammed Kadhim was one of those officers who made the ultimate sacrifices. Abdelamir identified a suspicious man who was rigged with an explosive belt, chased him and tackled the man. The terrorist detonated his belt, killing himself and the police constable, Abdelamir. Abdelamir's acts of the heroism saves scores of the people standing in the line to vote. Desperate terrorist event even took the life of an innocent child who had Down syndrome. This child was fitted with an explosive vest and detonated the child. The child was instantly killed, and were several bystanders. Our Iraqi police showed up for work, made polling centers venues secure for the voters, and protected the Iraqi people from would-be assassins. Today we look forward to the future as a new Iraqi emerge. The new Iraq will be continue to be strong, have a compensation. Iraq will be steadfast in its intolerance of those terrorists who seeks to destroy this great nation. I wish to thank all of you who helped make this election a success. May God bless you all, and my God bless Iraq. I will now take some of your questions. The last point I would like to mention that I would like to thank the multinational forces for the support they give us. And really, without the multinational forces, we could not have done that by ourselves alone. Maybe we'll be able to do that in a much more better way in the next election, hopefully. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. We'll start with some questions from here. Mr. Aldinger.
Mr. Minister, Charlie Ollinger with Reuters. Have recent U.S. military and Iraqi security raids, are you depleting or weakening the Zarqawi support network? Are more of his senior supporters being arrested? And is it making him less effective, or is he just as effective as before? And are you close to capturing him?
I must say that since August last year, we started to build the special forces to deal with those terrorists. In 2 months, those forces has been able to do a lot of job. I must say that the last 6 weeks, our Iraqi and Ministry of Interior Security Forces, the special forces, has been able to do a great job. We have arrested more than 350 terrorists in just 3 weeks, in the last 3 weeks before elections. So I must say one part of the success of the elections, it's the operations we have been able to do that in the last 6 weeks. We have weakened them very much, and we are continuing to weakening them, and hopefully in a very short period of time, nobody will hear about Zarqawi or his group. Thank you.
And the possible capture of Zarqawi, have you been close to capturing him recently? Are there any incidents where you possibly came close to arresting him recently?
Well, actually, this very much depends on the intelligence informations. We are following him, I must say that. I think we missed him for 2 or 3 times, but hopefully next time we'll be able to capture him.
Very good. Bob?
Sir, this is Bob Burns from Associated Press. I'd like to follow up on just your last comment there. You said you missed him a couple of times. By that, do you mean that you had information about his precise location and arrived too late, or was there some sort of operation mounted against him?
No, actually, it's highly dependent on intelligence informations. I think we arrived a bit late.
And
Came and analyzed it. That was just maybe we missed him by 1 hour.
Repeat that. I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, we didn't quite hear your answer, Mr. Minister. You were talking about the fact that you believe that you may have arrived a little late in these incidences, and then you said something after that.
I said we missed him by 1 hour, maybe, something like that. He's not staying in one place. He's moving from area to another. So we will get him very soon, hopefully.
when did these incidents occur when you missed him? Was it very recently?
That was about 2 weeks ago.
That was my question.
Where? What?
Go ahead, Bob.
Sorry, one last thing on that, if I could. What location, roughly or precisely?
Well, I think that we'll keep it for the time being. Once we will be able, hopefully, to capture him, we'll release all the information.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Minister, Donna Miles, American Forces Press Service. Can you tell me, with the recent increase in the last couple days of violence following the elections, what measures are you taking to step up security?
Well, I think in the last couple of days after elections, the situation wasn't so bad. I mean, we expected worse than that. They're planning, they think once we finish the election, our security forces, will be relaxed and things will be much more easier for them to do that. But actually, we continue attacking their bases. We had arrested a number of them in the last couple of days after the election, and we are continuing to do that. But also, I expect they are planning for something. We might see some bad days in the next couple of weeks. Able to stop them before doing that.
Okay. Go ahead, Al.
Mr. Minister, Al Pessin from Voice of America. We all know that there's no timetable for the withdrawal of foreign forces, that it'll be condition-based. But can you tell us in general terms, sir, what sort of a time frame are you talking about? Some drawdown of foreign forces perhaps within 6 months or a year, a significant reduction within a year or 2 years? Can you give us some broad strokes on that?
I have been talking about that for a couple of days. According to our plans, the Ministry of Interior's plans, in coordinations with our friends at the multinational forces, I think we will be able to have a strong security, Iraqi security, and a strong Ministry of Interior in Iraq that can control the security situation in Iraq in 18 months. And of course, controlling the borders. Talking about the withdrawal of the multinational forces, that will be mainly a political question, actually. But from my perspective and my prediction that we, as a Ministry of Interior, if we will continue at the same speed we have been doing in the last 4 months, I think we will be able to have a good control over our internal security and by the Iraqi forces.
Bob, did you have something you want to follow up on?
To take us back briefly, this is Bob Burns from AP. Take you back briefly to your reference to having missed Zarqawi. One other question we had was, were you referring to an Iraqi operation, or was this a joint U.S.-Iraqi effort?
Well, actually, in general, we have most of our operations coordinated with the multinational forces. Some of the small operations, security operations, has been held by the Iraqi forces with the knowledge of the multinational forces. We started already some of our operations by ourselves, and we have a good number of operations done by the Iraqi forces.
With these occasions where you missed Zarqawi, was that a joint operation, or was that an Iraqi operation, security operation?
I said I would like to speak about that once we capture Zarqawi. Hopefully, it will be very soon.
Donna, go ahead.
Yes, Donna Miles again. Mr. Minister, you said that within 18 months you expect the Iraqi security to be at a point where they can self-sustain. What measure will you use to determine that they are in fact ready to do that?
I couldn't understand the last bit of your question, please.
I think, if I may paraphrase, what are the measurements that you will use to determine if in 18 months your forces are able to be independent?
First of all, we have to have a good control over our borders. And we already redesigned our border forces. We started already since 1 month, actually, and we are doing very well. I think we will need some time until we have secured borders, maybe 12 months. For the internal security, there's two parts of it. Fighting terrorists. First of all, we have to have a good intelligence organization to bring informations. And then we have to have a good, strong force to deal with those terrorists, which we already started, these forces. And also, we started our intelligence organization. Then we will be able to get rid of all this terrorist organization in this country. The other part is the regular police works, we are also redesigning our police forces to modernize our police forces that they can deal with this situation. Other administrations, things, communications, passports, traffic police, also we are working on it. And that's what, I mean, my estimate based on the studies we have, how much we have done, how long time we need to do, and how much money we need to spend on this. So that was actually our estimates based on these studies we had already.
Go ahead.
It's Al Pessin again from VOA. We've heard about the plan to put thousands of the American officers and enlisted men into training roles with your Army and police. We've also heard references to the need to build the skills and train the people in the Interior Ministry and the Defense Ministry so that they can supervise the military and the police. What sort of training is needed on the civilian side of the management of your armed forces?
Well, actually, we have been working on very good training programs lately. We have developed our training programs. There's the basic training and the professional training. We have quite a number of people already have done their basic training. We have to start a professional training. We already started, actually, some of the professional trainings. Also, there is a lot trainings where in some of the operations which has been done by the Iraqi forces in coordinations with the multinational forces, which it is also a part of the training programs, hopefully. And I must say that we have a very good coordination with General Casey, which is supporting all, and we have a very high level of coordinations in many of the operations and security. And also I have to mention that General Petraeus has been doing very well in equipping and training our forces. And I must thank my senior advisor, Mr. Steve Castile, which he made it very easy for us, especially in terms of coordinations between the Ministry of Interior and the multinational forces. And that's a great help for us. And of course, many other friends and generals, which they have been working with us very well.
Training on the civilian side in the ministries. What is the plan for that?
You mean the regular police, the civilian side?
I mean the people in the ministries who will be responsible for managing the Army and the police.
You mean that, yes, we have been doing very well, especially in the special training courses. We are looking for a modern Ministry of Interior using the latest technology in management and administrations. We have been doing very well in this sector, and I think we are in a stage to redesign the Ministry of Interior according to the situation we are in. There are many people have been trained for management, computers, and other skills, and especially the telecommunication, which it is vital and very important for us.
Well, Mr. Minister, we want to be respectful of your time, and we do appreciate you taking the time this morning to give us an update on the security forces. And we'd just like to once again congratulate you on the historic events of the last couple of days and wish you the best as you go forward with the Ministry of Interior. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.